I want to speak about the Prophesy of Joseph. Joseph had two sons, Manasseh and Ephraim, and when you look at the whole story, you're going to notice why you need follow the whole thing through the Old Testament. You can preach all the gospels you want of Paul and of Christ, but you cannot forget the covenants, the covenant that God made with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, the elect. And in the last days, it's the elect that's being spoken of the whole time throughout the New Testament and Old Testament. It's the promise that came to these guys, and it's only going to be fulfilled in the last days. So you Gentiles who receive the gospel from Paul have to give respect to what your Father in heaven has told you is going to happen. And that's why people need to rightly divide the word of God. What happened was there was a certain point in time when the Jews refused the Christ. The Israelites in the northern kingdom were already dispersed because of what they did, and I'll tell you something that comes to my attention. The Israelites broke the commandments of God, which you guys are doing right now. Ephraim symbolizes the powerful nation of the last generation, akin to a multitude of nations within one, evident in Joseph's multicolored coat. The message urges viewers to share it with their pastors and everyone else, encouraging a return to true teachings and following the full instruction of God. The Gentiles, grafted into the assembly, must recognize their opportunity and the significance of being inwardly Jewish. Please take the time to give every minute you possibly can to learning the Word of God, because Yeshua is the Word of God. He became flesh. He's the Word of God. He would never tell you to ignore the Scriptures because the Old Testament was what he was preaching out of, so was Paul. There was no such thing as the New Testament back then, and it's all in the Old Testament. But what Paul did for us ladies in the future is he wrote all those things down because they actually pertain to us. And there is a group of people that are going to die, and that's called the barley harvest. From the time that Yeshua died until the time of the sixth seal, or till the time of the first trumpet. And then it's too late. You're not part of that anymore. Then you become the wise or foolish virgins, or the two groups, the 5 and the 5, then the oil and the wine.